So it starts off and my boy Kong is faded. They done give him some of that good grass, that ganja, that good za. He doesn't even know what hit him. He can't even get up. Look at him. Bro's about to be catching straight flies. He better close his mouth. They got him floating on clouds right now. He's about to be moving like Method Man in that one movie where he smoked so much he started seeing ghosts in the back of his car. But they go ahead and ice him out. If he's going to be the last one of his kind, they better make sure when he smiles the ice is shining. Give him that diamond tooth. And Kong heads back down to Hollow Earth. While all this is happening, Godzilla made his way to France, trying to buy himself a baguette with a side of croissant. But he's been asleep for so long that he forgot about inflation. So once he saw them prices, he had to hit that sacré bleu. 4 euros for a baguette? It better twerk. And he decided it was better to just absorb the radiation from a nuclear facility, using it to turn Super Saiyan Blue. Vegeta's summer watching this mad as shit that someone else is out here tuning Super Saiyan with such ease. We already know what happened when Trunks was showing off that Super Saiyan form. Vegeta couldn't sleep. He was really hating on his own son. I aspire to reach that kind of level of hating. I've been slacking. They go ahead and try to stop Godzilla, but their attacks are doing no damage. And I want to know what the plan was, because they just saw this 300-foot monster absorb nuclear radiation and still decided to send them tiny missiles towards him. The boss was trolling. Man said, hey team, we've got to take him down. And I know he stayed back in the operations room looking at his screen, watching the live stream, cackling, seeing his men get packed up. Godzilla got an order of them fillies and said, man, stop with the BS, and blasted them all away. That's what they get for not minding their own business. A nigga can't even go Super Saiyan in peace no more. We get back to Kong, who senses something is off. His spidey senses are tingling. Give him a Spider-Man suit and y'all gonna start calling him Miles Morales. He picks up his axe and goes down to investigate. And while he's down there, he looks over and sees a gigantic hole covered by a waterfall. And I was just like, hey, we've got to bear with him. I almost forgot he's still a gorilla. Bro did a whole 180. You're telling me he ain't see that big ass opening? Last time I checked, his problem was with his tooth, not his eyes. Kong gets moving and he realizes that he just unlocked a new level. And he smells like the first opponent just spawned in. Is it Wreck-It Ralph? Is it Gorilla? No, it's Suko. Kong puts down his weapon trying to be friends with Suko. Hits him with that, don't be shy. It's okay, come on. Bro's about to be recruited for Project Epstein 2.0. Over here trying to hold hands with a child. But little bro decides he's hungry and bites Kong's finger. He's out here picking a fight against a skyscraper. Same type of timing as Shaq versus Kai Cenat. Kong looks at his hand and is like, damn, I don't like to feel good. I like to feel evil. Looks back down towards Suko and he runs away after seeing how much of a mismatch this is. And Kong is chasing him down before getting stopped by him. And Kong is making the same face as me. Put this man back in his cage. Oh no! This is the ugliest thing I've done ever seen. I can't even tell where his hairline starts. Kong had to look away. He ain't never seen someone so chopped. First ape he's seen in years and he's out there looking like these. But while he's not looking, Kong gets jumped by more of his kind. He picks up a rock and smacks one of them. Got him leaning on his way down. He then gets put in a chokehold and the hunter from open season bonks his teammate in the back of his head. This dumbass is selling the game. This is why I can't play pro clubs with certain people. Type to hold on to the ball like a Somalian claim they have no options. Kong sees this as an opportunity to punch him in his back and almost got snuck. Stopped him with one hand and used him as a bowling ball. Then this man jump scared me again. I paused on this frame and I'm telling you I could smell his breath through the screen. Kong ran out of mints though, so he told bro to move away, sent him flying back and bent down to pick up his axe. But right before he could pick it up, Suko comes out of nowhere and jumps onto his face. Kong took him off and started holding him like these before using him as a weapon to up his KD. The combo was crazy. Little bro was never gonna be the same. He's about to be doing interviews talking like Mike Tyson.
He said he wanted to kiss you. That's so ironic that he said that, because I saw a picture of him dancing at 16 doing that little dance on YouTube, and for some reason I had an erection.
Kong had to make one taste of dirt and told him to stay down and was about to end him until another one showed up and almost got sent down below. And my boy Kong was in his Naruto arc trying to help the wrong type of people. Try to save this gorilla that was just trying to kill him, pulls him up, and Buddy immediately hits the button combination for his secret move, the betrayal. But Kong blocks him and says, oh nah, I try to help you little bro. Pushes him down and is about to face his last opponent, Cobra's brother. But this man gets so frightened, he starts shitting bricks. He hits the jets and runs away. And Kong shows us why he could have went to the league, would have averaged 35 assists. Picks up a rock and launches it towards the ape and gets the headshot. How this man moving like them niggas with Starlock, shaking his thoughts. He's on his way home for a retwist right now. Kong ends up finding Suko hiding behind a tree, so he grabs him by the neck, having little bro like, what did I do? And throws him to the ground. This fight was about a minute and Suko done got his brain shook about 15 times. Someone remind me to never let bro drive. He's about to be mixing up his right and his left, driving down the wrong side of the highway, blasting Chief Keef on a Tuesday. But Kong forces Suko to turn into a GPS and bring him to the rest of his people, and they get going. Godzilla is in Spain trying to show off the new Super Saiyan form. Like, damn bro, we see it, trust. Move like them Atlanteans with their skinny jeans. But there was a hater on the ground like, hey bro, you late. They already released that new shit. Tiamat is gatekeeping up in the Arctic Ocean. Godzilla said, I bet. Made his way over there expeditiously. He's gonna rob that nigga of his drip. He gets there and booms Tiamat's domain. Told him to come outside. He don't got time to waste. He promised the baddies that he got some unreleased clothing that he wanted to show off. Tiamat shows up telling him, the drip not gonna save you, little bro, you still ugly. Zilla hit him with that, what you say? Come here, bro. Put up, nigga. Mink. And while Tiamat wraps himself around Godzilla, Zilla says, that's free eats, bites him. And Tiamat ain't about that disrespect, attacks Godzilla, and bro started loading up his one and only move. He's competing with Ichigo for the smallest bag to ever exist. When Ichigo's Getsuga potential don't work, he has to forfeit the match. He don't got no other move. We ain't see it until 30 minutes later. He pulls up out of the ice with that Super Saiyan Rose. And now he's feeling himself. This is what he's been fiending for. In the meantime, Kong is following Suko, who brings him to a lake. And Suko thinks he's so slick. Bro watched Planet of the Apes once and heard that the green eyes meant you were smart. So he tried to play Kong for a fool. Said this water is looking fresh. And then waited for the sea monster to sneak Kong. And I ain't even mad at it. Hey, if it don't work out, all you can really do is try and make an apology video like Diddy. Kong continues to fight the sea monster, pinning him down, getting ready to make a filet-o fish before getting dragged back into the water. And I thought my boy Kong was cooked. We all remember what happened last time he fell in the water. Godzilla had that man on his last bar of health, but he comes back onto the surface trying to fight off the sea monster, and Suko tries to run away, but Kong throws the axe and trips him up and shows little bro that he cut the monster to pieces. I tell him to stop wasting his time and keep moving. They finally make it to the other apes, and Kong sees one of them treating his kind terribly. He must have watched Django and saw the way Samuel L. Jackson was talking about his own people.
Who this nigga on that nag?
It's Snowball.
That's who the hell you calling Snowball, hoss boy? I'll snatch your black ass off that nag.
Kong got mad and went to help him up, and once that happened, another ape showed up screaming in his face. Didn't even brush his teeth off to wake up. I would have shoved mouthwash down his throat. Kong was like, what's with y'all niggas? Some mint don't cost that much. Told bro to get his nasty breath out of his face. Put him to sleep. Had him on the ground like a roach that just got hit with some of that raid. Another ape wanted some street cred and tried to go snitch to the big boss, but the bodyguards had to remind him of his place. You signed that 360 deal, little bro. Get back to listen to them rocks. He had to tell him to look. Big ape over there telling us our bread stinks. Scar King heard that and needed to make a stand. He's over there saying like he's in one of them superhero covers. Had Suko stressing. Scar King was about to be so pissed that Suko brought Kong into his crib. Gonna tell Suko to lift Mount Kilimanjaro by himself after this. Scar King pulls up trying to show off his aura, posing like these. This man is built like KD, 6'11" and 90 pounds with the ashiest ankles known to man. Even his hairline is cooked. He makes his way towards Kong and inspects his tooth and sees that it isn't real. So he turns around on some, hey, this nigga got a fake tooth. Shit felt like when a teacher makes a joke right before an exam, so he forced a laugh, hoping they give you some extra points. But Scar King confronts Suko and asks him why he brought Shaquille McDonald's to the crib. We don't got this much food to share. And homeboy over here steps in front of Suko trying to protect him, saying he's just a kid. Scar King was like, oh, you right. You right. Psych a lot, and pushed him in for a little swim. Kong ain't like the way he's treating the other apes, so they decide to battle it out. Scar King is swinging the whip like he's a slave owner in Django, and Kong picks up his battle axe, ready to slice off the rest of this man's hair follicles. Scar King goes for the headshot, and Kong thought he was in the Matrix. He hit that smooth weave out the way to get back up and grabs onto Scar King's whip, but that ain't work out so good. Scar King yanks it and it cuts Kong's hand. Kong then rushes in, aiming at Jessica Alba in Fantastic Four, and tried to redeem himself. But Scar King saw how this 25,000-ton gorilla was moving and said, oh, he could do that too. Dodge under Kong's attack and blocks the next one too, and pushes his axe to the ground before going behind him and slashing his back. I ain't even gonna make a joke, this shit felt racist. And Scar proceeds to embarrass him some more, hit him with that spin move to the chin, laid him out on his back and managed to grab the axe out of Kong's hand. I was watching this like, this can't be, I'm leaving here with some. He better lock in. Scar King goes to finish the job and tries to choke Kong out, and he's over there in the back laughing his ass off. And I'm just trying to figure out in which direction he's looking at. No wonder he became king. Bro can see in front and behind him at the same time. But Kong finally decided to use the weight difference to his advantage and flips Scar King over onto his back and picks him up like a baby to throw him and have him tumbling. Scar King ain't never been manhandled like that. Kong picked him up like it was nothing. He had to tell the bros to back off and just keep the cameras rolling, get that bit in 4K so he can put it in his highlight reel. Scar King starts laughing and points the tip of his weapon towards the lava behind Kong, and some apes get to work stopping the lava and releasing Shimo. Scar King uses one of Shimo's scales as the tip of his weapon to help him control Shimo into doing whatever he wants. I know some of y'all would have loved this type of power with y'all ex. Before getting that she's busy right now text message, couldn't be me. But Shimo gets forced to copy Godzilla with his crazy bag of one single move and tries to beam Kong. But he's hitting them parkour tricks and grabs his axe to try and protect himself, but it's not working. And Suko has to help Kong escape outside. He's moving with one hand trying to take out all the apes that are following him. He jumps onto a vine and makes one of the apes drop into a pitfall before he gets cornered between some mountains. He has one last trap, but the apes decide to use their brain for once and step over the last trap. So Kong has to square up. He ain't going going out like that. His barber is the type to pull out a tripod and charge him $80 a cut. He ain't losing to some ugly ass niggas with no fade. But the chop takes them out anyways, and it turns out that Suko is the one who took them out. This is one of them anime friendships, bro, where it don't really make no sense. Little bro was just trying to take off Kong's head, and don't forget he got used as a baseball bat not too long ago. I guess the concussions made him forget about all that. But Kong's hand ain't working too good. He got a frostbite now, so he makes his way to some humans trying to get an upgrade before going back to fight the boss. He gets there and they're like, oh no, his aura, it just dropped by 10,000. So what do? I've got a plan. We gotta give him that Thanos level upgrade. He comes back and brings Kong that Thanos gauntlet. Told him this was limited edition, had Kong hyped up. Suko comes back and tells Kong that KD is on his way. And they get going. They need to recruit Zilla if they want to win the finals. Kong gets to Egypt and the first thing that we see is the gauntlet. He's making sure everyone sees the glove. This is that one of one type of merchandise from Thanos himself. He's got to make sure the public sees this. Look at the way he's walking. He's in no rush right now. You see the way he's putting up his fist? Some of y'all would think this is for BLM, but for real, it's just to flex a new drip. But the humans are trying to help the monsters, so they managed to get Mothra, the queen of monsters, to respawn and go out there to try and convince Zilla to chill with all that boxing and help Kong defeat Scar King. But in the meantime, Godzilla's on that timing. Made his way to Kong, and I was like, bro, this man really just don't like nobody. Kong's out there like,
let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. All right. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something.
And Zilla just wanted to run the ones. He's acting like SpongeBob.
SpongeBob, you gotta ask him a question first.
Oh yeah, what color is my underwear?
You can see the fear in Kong's eyes. He's trying to have a reasonable conversation with a dumbass. Godzilla got to be cousins with Floyd Mayweather. They only good at boxing. Tell them to read, and you would never leave in the classroom. They're gonna be stuck on the first word. Godzilla tackles Kong into a pyramid, and Kong gets up to throw sand in his face. Had him swinging at nothing but straight air and running face first into a pyramid. This man Godzilla stood there, had time to reflect, and said, "Oh nah, I'm turning you into gorilla meat." Went to attack Kong, who's just trying to show bro the gauntlet, but instead ends up having to block and gets pushed back and flipped over. And I had to give Godzilla his points. He's putting out moves I've never seen him do before. Kong got up and was still trying to flex, released the upgrade, and boom, Zilla in his chin. Told him to go to sleep, and Kong starts flattening him out, hit him crazy. Godzilla tried to go Super Saiyan Rose, and Kong shut that shit down. He saw how overpowered Goku Black was in the anime and ain't want to take no chances. He grabs Zilla by the tail and drags him back towards the portal, and then you hear that. He's about to hit Kong with that Kamehameha. Luckily, Zilla's aim is dookie, so Kong's able to easily get out of the way. My boy Godzilla has the turning capacity of a truck, but he tackles Kong once again and stomps him to the ground, has Kong in pain. And he charges up again, about to hit this man from point blank range. But Mothra pulls up and stops the fight. Says, "Hey yo Zilla, you still a crash out? You fighting for no reason, bro." She convinces Godzilla to help Kong, and I'm just hoping she gives Godzilla another move to add to his bag. How many more times we gotta see him shoot a laser beam out his mouth? And at first glance, I thought this was Avatar Aang. I was about to say, if they got the Avatar on their side, tell that nigga to call up Kyoshi. We all know she's devious. She's gonna pull up behind him with that Naruto 1,000 years of death and fire bend his ass to make Scar King fly away. Anyway, Scar King looks up and sees them dropping from the portal up above and crashing down to the ground before running towards him to tag team him. They're charging at each other and they all call ISO. Kong is against Scar King while Godzilla is going up against Shimo. The pillar behind crashes down and sends a shockwave that blasts them back. Godzilla jumps off a rock to save Kong and told bro that he's slacking, get to work. He jumps off another rock and does a flip to swat away a random ape and heads towards Shimo to kick him down to the ground, while Scar King makes his way to Kong, jumping off some rocks and bonked bro with his own axe and grabbed his arm with his whip. Kong got tired of that and gave this man a two-piece, said hum hum, and got jumped by another ape. Suko had to tell him to back off, do a rock on his head top. He doesn't want to be the only ape who can't remember things properly. We get back to Godzilla, who is getting blasted by Shimo. Mothra had to help him out and stop the blast so that Zilla could tee up, and I'm glad they were focusing more on the Kong versus Scar King fight, because Zilla and Shimo were really just spamming that one attack, like Naruto finding one of his clones. When Rasengan don't work, use a bigger one. The gravity change caused them all to start falling from the sky, and Scar King uses this as an opportunity to go through the portal. He ain't stupid. He heard about that time King Kong had that snow bunny. He wants some of that too. All four of them end up going through the portal, but Kong ends up losing his axe and leaving it behind. So you already know he's about to be copying Thanos in Infinity War, just abusing the gauntlet. Oh no, you killed your little boyfriend, the one that all of a sudden forgot how to fight, even though he's one of the strongest Avengers? Damn, that's so crazy, bro. Anyways, I need me that stone. They land in Brazil and Scar King tells Shimo to get to work, start making it snow. Them bunnies ain't gonna show up themselves. So Shimo drops the temperature and starts blasting. Kong had to pull up to knock some sense into bro. He been scrolling on TikTok too much. And Godzilla shows up as well to even the matchup. Scar King gets back up and spits out his tooth, and Kong has been waiting for this. Look at you now, ugly ass. He ain't gonna ever forget how Scar King was mocking his tooth. Zilla gets back to attacking Shimo through some buildings, and I've seen enough. We need to get this fat ass lizard to replace Tiamat when he retires. And Kong gets back to bullying Scar Scar King and kicking him to the ground. And I want y'all to look at how quick Scar King is to use his special move called jumping whenever he's losing. He gets laid out and is like, yo, Shimo, help me jump this nigga. And Kong gets tail whipped 50 feet away into a building. Once they spawned in, I know the Brazilian government went into hiding because it's either that or they have to tax the citizens 120% of their income just to be able to rebuild half a block. These 4 monsters done destroyed 50 buildings. Shimo charges at Kong, but Godzilla already called ISO. So he jumps into bulldoze Shimo, ends up getting launched through the air. Suko must have felt the disturbance in the air because he jumps towards the portal and grabs onto Kong's axe ready to help him out. Scar King, on the other hand, got tired of getting manhandled, took a piece of a building and threw it at Kong, who destroys it with ease. The Avengers are over in New York right now, trying to tell all the families whose home they destroyed that it ain't all that bad. Kong and Godzilla could have been over here doing some more damage instead. Scar King was feeling whimsical, did a front flip into a 2-footed kick to pass along to Shimo for the alley-oop face first into a building, and he ain't stopped there. Saw that Kong was hungry and let him eat a plate full of house. Did him like how Broly did Goku before getting tossed into another building. So, bro, what y'all got going on, bro? But Shimo blasts Kong, who blocks it, and Zilla was like, it's my time to shine. Charges up the Kamehameha of Doom and launches it at Scar King, who moves out the way and tries to counter but gets his shit snatched. And Godzilla throws him away and breaks Scar King's weapon. So now the tip of the weapon that was used to control Shimo is over here on the ground, and they ain't gonna let him get it. So when he makes a run to get the scale, Zilla goes and takes out Old Reliable and sends another blast at Scar King. But all that ain't work. He still manages to get to the scale, and he's lifting it up, trying to show off, trying to flex. Went on IG Live and said they tried to snatch my chain, but it ain't work. Zilla said, oh really? And once again, it heads in Scar King's direction and makes him drop the scale. And Kong needs some of that backup. Godzilla goes to help him by attacking Shimo and gets back to his original 1v1, while Kong and Scar King are fighting over the scale to control Shimo. But this is when Suko pulls up. Bro said he wants out of that 360 deal. They took his lunch money last time too. He couldn't even buy his girl some fruit snacks. So he uses Kong's axe to destroy the scale, and they get sent flying back from the blast. And Suko ends up finding himself getting picked up like a baby again. Fight back, little bro. Never mind, he tried. Kong had to do it for him. Hit him with a clean left hook and then grabbed him by the neck, wanting to show him how it feels. And Zilla called for the 1-2, got the pass and sent it right back to Kong. Said, oh yeah, had that back. And Kong held him up in the air by the throat. Scar King thought he still had it in him, thought he still had all the power, tried to tell Shimo to help him. And this nigga Shimo really looked over at Godzilla. Hey yo bro, is there something wrong with your eyes? The enemy's in front of you, nigga. Godzilla had to tell him that the decision wasn't hard to make, and Shimo freezes Scar King, and Kong goes for the dunk and smashes him to the ground.
See my star shine like a diamond. Can you move a sun on diamond? A million SC.